Hello everyone and welcome back. So, a little bit of context. Last night was the 90th Academy Awards, or the Oscars, and it was quite entertaining watching the whole thing live. I have to say, the first thing that came to my mind when I watched it was, my god, look at all these beautiful people in these ridiculously redundant and just impractical outfits. That was my first thought, of course, the cynical side of me. Now, my second thought was how watching this brought back those memories of when I watched my first movie. I grew up in Taiwan, and the first movie that I went to the theater, to the cinema to watch was Jurassic Park, the very first one. But that was the first movie that my mother brought me to watch, and I still remember the sense of awe and just how amazing it looked to see dinosaurs walking on screen with all these actors. As a kid, I mean, who didn't love dinosaurs when growing up? When I saw that, it was a mind-shattering moment for me. And the young me believed that dinosaurs did exist because there they are, even though I've read it in the books many times before that dinosaurs had gone extinct millions of years ago. But seeing those dinosaurs walking on screen, and for those brief moments, the young me believed that dinosaurs could come back to life and did exist somewhere right then. It was just such an incredible moment for me. And I think that, more than anything, really defined my perception of what movies could be. Having watched that as the first movie, the bar was set pretty high for me. And then from that point on, all the other films I watched, they never really brought back that sensation for me of seeing something that was completely incredible and that could never ever exist in the real world, yet convincing me otherwise. Like this idea of dinosaurs existing, it came back to me a few months afterwards. I remember, I went to one of those summer daycares, and one of the assignments we had in class was to draw dinosaurs. I remember drawing two triceratops, but with people riding them. And because, when I watched Jurassic Park, I thought, oh yeah, because people and dinosaurs, they existed on the silver screen together, so I'm painting the same thing, right? Because I saw it in the theater. I've seen the movie, right? I've seen that it could exist in some form in some manner, even if ultimately the movie is fake. But to me, it existed, and why can't other people accept that it could exist in my painting, in my drawing, right? In the context of my drawing, to me, it is just as real as in the context of the movie Jurassic Park. Now that I think back on it, all the movies that I watch, the good ones, the bad ones, the mediocre ones, the entertaining ones, the documentary, even though documents could be very entertaining too. All these movies, what really sets a good movie apart from a bad movie? If the movie, it is convincing, then that's all that matters. The second sort of mind-blowing experience for me when I went to watch a movie was Avatar. Right? I'm pretty sure a lot of you have seen that as well, right? James Cameron, he created this entire world to the point where some people actually believe that this world, Pandora, actually exists somewhere. James Cameron, he invented the whole ecosystem, right? How all the organisms on the planet, they are able to interact with one another through a sort of a neurological connection, right? So from there, we know that yes, there is a common ancestor when it comes to the evolutionary path that the organisms on that planet took. Everything else aside, James Cameron followed through with that idea of this world having this ecosystem that is built around something that, in the real world, at least on Earth, right, on our planet, we can see that we have DNA, and the cells that we have, there are many common features between us, between plants, between us, single-cell organisms, right? There is the system that exists. James Cameron took that system and he created the movie with this system sort of as the supporting pillars. With something like Avatar, there is a logic, no matter how ridiculous you want to be critical with it, but there is that system. And through all these years, good movies, bad movies, they are all incredible in their own ways, and by incredible I mean most of them cannot exist in the real world. But within those movies, if it is done well, if it follows through with that system, with that logic, then it can create something that, even though we say that can't be real, but something in there, it creates the little sense of doubt, and we go, what if it could be real, right? What if I just, skew this a little bit, and if I just add a tiny bit of my own interpretation to it, then the system makes some sense to us. When I was watching the Academy Awards, that's what I was thinking. I thought about Jurassic Park, I thought about Avatar, and all these other movies like Dark Knight. That's one of the other ones that is really just grounded in reality, where like Christopher Nolan's take on Batman, and it's not something that is cartoonish. I mean, it's still cartoonish, right? If you think about it, Christopher Nolan's Batman, it still has that cheesiness to it, but everything in Christopher Nolan infused into the Dark Knight series, there's a sense of reality that is grounded in the whole in the trilogy. So good movies they just follow through with their logic. They just follow through with the sequence of thought, and tries to close the loops to the point where it doesn't have to be perfect, but it makes sense in the grand scheme of things. If you have the chance, go watch more movies. Today's day and age, with the whole CGI and the processing power that these production studios have, they can create these amazing, these lifelike special effects, to the point where, something that 5 years ago, 7 years ago, people were just like, the filmmakers could only dream about, and now they actually have that power to create something that, visually it's near indistinguishable from, the reality. And it is just such a great and powerful tool for these filmmakers. And hopefully, as we support the good films, we'll just get more and more of those. And hey, somewhere along the line, hopefully I get to have, another movie that brings me that sense of shock and awe, like Jurassic Park did, like Avatar did. So let's go watch some movies. Yeah, thanks for listening to my rambling, and signing off.